Welcome to the overview of the basic configuration of the OpenClient for Linux. This presentation will provide an overview of the steps involved in the basic configuration. If you encounter problems in configuration, contact the IBM Help Desk. Topics covered here include restoring migrated files, configuring wireless, configuring AT&T Network Client, getting software updates, configuring Lotus Notes, installing IBM Global Printers, and creating a Windows 7 virtual client. After the OpenClient boots and migration completes, the next step is to restore the data migrated from Windows. After migration, find the In-Place Migration Restore icon on the OpenClient desktop. Click the icon to start the process of restoring your files. This screen will be displayed, showing the total number of files and the list of files selected for migration. You can speed the migration by selecting to overwrite all duplicate files during the file restoration. Otherwise, you will have to choose file by file. When ready, click Next. While restoring, a screen will display progress. When the process completes, you will see this screen. It will tell you how many files were restored. Click Done to close the window and return to the OpenClient desktop. After the IPM restore completes, you will notice two new items on your desktop. Item 1 is a folder that contains the files from your Windows desktop called My Windows Desktop Files. Item 2 is a file discussed on the next slide. Click on the folder to open it and examine the contents. You can drag and drop the files onto your OpenClient desktop or to other locations in the file system as needed. Item 2 is a file containing a list of all the files migrated from your Windows computer. Click on the icon called My Help Migration File List, and you will see something like the list shown here. This can be handy for determining whether files were migrated and where they might be. There will also be a folder of migrated files in your home folder. As seen here, the folder will be named My Help Migration and will contain files migrated from elsewhere in your file system. Your migrated data files will generally be located in the My Windows Desktop folder or the My Help Migration folder. The next step is to configure your wireless network for operation. Your OpenClient will detect wireless networks but will not connect unless you authorize and authenticate. The example here is from an IBM location where several wireless networks are available. Clicking the network icon shows that this computer is connected to the network via the wired network adapter. It also shows several wireless networks are available and whether they are secure or not. We select the Secure Network IBM. In image 1, we select type of wireless security, in this case, LEAP. In image 2, we provide our LEAP ID and password. In image 3, we click the Connect button to join the network. After connecting, hovering over or clicking on the network icon shows the computer is now connected to the IBM wireless network. Disconnecting can be done from this menu. After connecting to a wireless network, the next step is to set up the AT&T Network Client. Click the AT&T Network Client on the computer menu or the application browser. Click Connect and then authenticate with your AT&T Network Client account, ID, and password. Click OK to connect to the IBM network through the client. After you connect to the IBM network, bring up Firefox. Part of the migration includes your Firefox bookmarks and plugins. In this screen, you can see that the user's bookmark bar and plugins have been migrated to Linux. After getting connected to the IBM network, you can see if there are software updates available and apply those to the system. If there are updates, an icon will appear in the running application area of the panel at the bottom right. An enlarged version of the different icons and update types is shown with an arrow pointing to where the update icon will appear. Check for that icon and click it if available. If not available, go to Computer, software update to check for updates. You will need a connection to the IBM network for this step. The software update window will be displayed with a list of available updates in the top pane and the details for the selected update in the bottom pane. Click the Install Updates button to apply the selected updates. For some updates, a reboot may be required. After connecting to the IBM network and updating software, the next step is to set up your Notes client. Much of your information will be migrated, but you still have some things to do to ensure that Notes is operational. In the dialog in Image 1, you will select a location. Select the one you were using on Windows. This will start a wizard that will walk you through several steps. In Image 2, an overview of the process is given. In Image 3, you provide your Notes name, not the full Notes ID, and server name, and check Connect to Domino. Your server name should be migrated, but have it handy just in case. In the screen in Image 4, you provide the location of your Notes ID file. You can browse for it. If migrated, it will be in the Lotus Notes data directory. In the screen in Image 5, you can select other services to configure. If you replicate your mail, check the replication box. In the screen in Image 6, you have more mail replication settings. Check the ones you want and click Next to start Lotus Notes. You will need to log in, so have your password handy. Lotus Notes will display the Getting Started page along with the default home page having links to mail and calendar. Normally, your contacts, location, workplace, and selected local databases will have been migrated from Windows. If you use a signature file in your email, you will need to tell Notes the new location for your file, which will have been migrated. Open the Notes Mail Preferences and select the Signature tab shown in the screenshot in Image 1. Notes may think the file is in a folder which does not exist in Linux. Click Browse to find your signature file and you will see the File Browser screen in Image 2. Navigate to the Lotus Notes Data folder and select your signature file. Click OK to return to Preferences with the updated field as shown in Image 3. After the basic Notes configuration, the next step is to set up IBM Global Network printers for the sites where you need them. Click on the Computer menu and select More Applications, and then under OpenClient, the IBM Global Printer Installer. This will display the dialog shown in Image 1. Select your geography, country, site, building, and floor to produce a list of printers. Check the ones you want to add and click Install. You will receive a confirmation dialog like the one in Image 2 to show you the printers that have been added. You can now print documents on any of them. For information on virtual clients, see the Linux Documentation Index in IT Help Central. Start with a document called Getting Started with Virtual Clients under Linux. Assuming you need one final basic configuration task is to create a Windows 7 virtual client. The screenshot shows the Get Windows page of the Welcome Center. The first step is to check that your computer meets the requirements for a virtual client. Click the Virtual Client Installation check to run a quick check. You will see a dialog like the one shown saying the computer is ready. If not, you will be given instructions on how to proceed. Next, you will click on the Create a Windows 7 Virtual Client icon. After agreeing to terms and conditions, a progress indicator will provide information on the status of the creation of the virtual client. This is the first of 3 steps. The dialog indicates that the virtual client has been created. A new icon appears on the desktop called Virtual Client for Linux OpenClient Windows 7 KVM. Click the icon to begin the next step. This will take some time to complete and will open a window on your desktop. The first time you start at the virtual client, you will see a window like this. When the process is complete, you will be able to log into your Windows virtual client. You will see a window like this asking you to run the Workstation Setup Wizard immediately. Click OK to run the wizard and complete the Windows 7 Virtual Client installation and setup. When the virtual client starts, it will appear as a window on your OpenClient desktop. You can work in that mode or toggle to and from full screen mode using the Shift F11 key combination. You can install applications via ISSI or other means as you would have under your prior version of Windows. You will be connected to the network automatically, taking advantage of the connections established in Linux. Your security is also handled by Linux. Do not attempt to install PGP encryption in a virtual client. Here are some links to other useful information. Thank you.